Hi everyone, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga. Welcome to Soft Flow Yoga. Our class today is called Simple Twists. We're just going to do 3 simple twists in our practice today. It'll start with a seated posture. We'll rotate here. Now in twisting poses, it's really articulating several parts. One, it involves our core, so we'll be doing a little core work, and that also involves breath. Some nice rotation, which will really help open the hips, as well as a nice rotation and opening of the spine. Another pose that we'll do in a standing position is I call it chair pose with a twist. And that too involves the same parts of the body, the sides of the body, your hips, your core. And then we'll finish with a spinal twist. And that's usually done at the end of a yoga practice, lying on the floor. So we'll need a couple of props. You may want to have something soft to sit on. You can have a nice big pillow, which I just have over here. Also, or a blanket, and I'm going to be using the blanket to sit on, but either one's fine, just something soft to sit on. And then you may also need a block or something that you can hold onto between your knees. So a hardbound book might be a little bit too heavy, so you might even just use a rolled up towel. That would work great, and you'll see how we work with that in a moment. All right, let's go ahead and start with some breath. So find a comfortable seat, either sitting on your soft blanket or soft pillow. Be sure you're sitting up nice and tall. We'll take a few deep breaths. We'll inhale deeply and completely, filling up the lungs. Then as you exhale, you can just release that with a sigh. Do that again, a nice full breath in, fill yourself up, and exhale completely. Now just settle into slow, steady breaths, but we'll continue to focus on the breath. For example, as you inhale, just feel your breath rising. Imagine that your belly is the container of breath, and you're just inhaling and just pulling that breath up to fill and expand your lungs. Just feel that expansiveness. Now the other part of this breath, when we inhale, yes, we still bring the breath up, filling up the lungs. And then when you exhale, you draw your navel inward toward your spine. Now this is that core connection I was talking about earlier. This is the abdominal lock. So again, imagine your breath it just sits and lives in your belly. But when we inhale, we're pulling the breath up, filling up the lungs, emptying this container, and then we create a lock. That's with the exhale, so a gentle pull of the belly button in towards the spine, so your breath really doesn't fall back down into the belly. And with that engagement, we're doing a light contraction of the abdominal muscles, and that's going to help us support our bodies when we're moving, while we're in stillness, but also will help us with our twists. So let's just continue. Nice full breath in. Fill up your lungs, breath rising upward. Exhale, draw belly button in. Again, pull breath up. Exhale, pull belly in. Do that for a few more breaths. And then we'll add a very simple movement. 2 more breaths. Let's add that simple movement. As you inhale, just extend your arms out and then all the way up. Reach and stretch, reaching for the ceiling. Then exhale, you're still pulling your belly button in towards your spine as your arms come back down to your side. Let's do that again. Inhale, with effort, extend the arms out and all the way up. And exhale, reaching out. Good energy through your hands and fingertips, bringing your arms back down. Now let's pay attention to what's happening with the body. As you inhale, you're reaching up. Feel this lengthening through the sides of the body, a nice lift. Exhale, we're keeping that uplifting sensation by creating the abdominal lock. This is also helping us with preparing for our twists, that lengthening through the sides of the body. Let's do that a few more times. Nice full breath in. Complete breath out. One more. Very nice. Let's just hold here. Just relax for a moment, but just continue the breath. We'll start with our seated twist. All right, let's set ourselves up. Just as we brought the arms overhead, you want to feel the lengthening of the spine. Now, as we prepare for the seated rotation, we're not going to lift the arms up, but still feel the lengthening through the sides of the body. What you can do is actually this. We'll start by twisting to the right side. I'm just going to mirror you. So take your right hand, you might place it behind you or just somewhere by your side, and just maybe using spider's legs, like that, your fingers, pressing into the floor to help you lift up through the torso, lengthening through the spine and side bodies. And then take your left hand and just place it over here on the leg. Just place it there for now. Now, when you inhale, press into the floor with this back hand, assisting your torso to lift up. Feel breath rise. Exhale, draw belly in to create that abdominal lock. And then start a rotation, just a slight turn to your right. Alrighty? So you're doing all that with muscle and breath. Then, just to hold yourself in place, you can use this hand that was just resting on the leg. Then you can hold on, just like that. Rather than trying to pull yourself into the posture, feel your whole torso and breath and muscle work do that rotation. And then just hold yourself in place. You can stay just like this. It's a mild twist and you really don't have to hold here too long. I'm going to inhale and see if there is more space, lifting up. Exhale, pull belly in and just turn a tiny bit more, not much at all. So my focus is kind of out to the corner of the room over there, holding here. And my alignment here feels like my heart is pointing in the same direction as my knee. And again, that's as far as we need to go. Keep breathing. We're inhaling, still growing tall. Exhale, still drawing belly in. This is core work. And with the rotation, we're also working with the obliques. The oblique muscles are part of the abdominal system that kind of come down at an angle like this, and it helps us to create a rotation in the upper body and also hold ourselves in a rotation. And that's really what we're doing. So we're really strengthening our core muscles. And we're also gaining some flexibility and mobility in our hips. Now our hips aren't moving because we're sitting, but we're rotating through the upper body. And that certainly involves our waistline and hips. And so just by holding here, steady and easy, we're kind of releasing any tightness that might be in our hips. Let's just take 2 more breaths on this first side. Now to come out of the pose, stay here, but we'll inhale and grow tall. We're just making space so we can come out of the posture. Exhale, pull belly in to secure and support the body as you now unwind to face forward. Now everything should come back to neutral. We'll hold here for a few breaths before we go to the other side. All right, so our same setup as we twist to the left. So take your left hand behind you, make spider's legs with your fingers. Just creates a bit more length. So you can inhale, grow nice and tall. Exhale, pull belly in and a gentle rotation to the left. And we hold ourselves in place by placing the right hand on the left knee. Now this is about as far as I'll go with this one. We're going to inhale, still grow tall. Exhale, pull belly in. I didn't turn any deeper, but I'm just holding myself in place. But the breath is still working. And inhale to create more space throughout the length of the spine. Exhaling to pull belly in to engage the core muscles. It's the front muscles here and those side muscles of the abdominal system, the obliques. Just holding here. In same alignment, I feel like my heart is just shy of pointing in the same direction as the left knee because I'm not twisting as far as I did on the other side. You just want to be at a place where you can hold the posture for some time without feeling like you're straining your body, and that's one of the features of our soft flow practice. Just allowing your body to naturally work. As you're just holding here, you're strengthening the muscles of your core system. you're gaining a little bit more flexibility and mobility in your hips, and even creating a bit more space in your spine. All right, let's get ready to move. We'll start with an inhale, grow tall, make more space. Exhale, pull belly in for support as you now move and return to face forward. And again, we'll just pause here for a moment. Very nice. We're going to move to our hands and knees. I'm just going to move my bolster out of the way here. Come to hands and knees. I am going to use the blanket here for a little bit more support and softness underneath my hands and knees here. Let's do cat and cow. So an inhale to lift the head and heart, arching the back. Exhale, rounding. So just a different movement through the spine. Our first movement, of course, was a twist, rotating from one side and then to the other. This one, a little bit more of an undulation through the spine on a different axis. So do this as slowly as you'd like, as quickly as you'd like, but really feeling that movement through the entire back body as well as your hips. Finish the breath that you're on, and we'll take 2 more. We're going to move through a simple sequence to make our way up to a standing posture. All right, let's just hold here. Take a breath in this little tabletop position, and then just sit back, crawl off of your blanket, and we'll just set that to the side for now. Return to hands and knees. Let's go through a lunge sequence so we can just get some good movement in the body. So from here, we're just going to step the hands forward just a little bit so the wrists are out from underneath the shoulders. We are spreading out the fingers pretty wide to create a good base and also a nice stretch between each finger. Press firmly down into the mat with the palms. It flattens and opens the palms, but even feel the straightening of the arms as it adds strength to the arms. Go ahead and tuck your toes. We're going to do one more cat-cow, starting with cow. That's the inhale. Exhale, round it out into cat. Hold cat. Feel the belly button pull up towards spine. And then lift your knees off of your mat and send your hips into the air, allowing the chest to sink between the arms. I'm just stepping the feet forward a little bit and even slightly wider. I'm even adjusting my hands. Keep a good bend in the knees and allow your hips to lift. Hands still pressing firmly into the mat. Relax your head and neck. We're just creating more length and strength in the arms, but mainly some good length in the torso. We're going to inhale and pick up the right foot and extend the right leg back. It doesn't have to lift high, just fully extend. Exhale, bend this right knee, bring the right knee in underneath you, shifting your whole upper body forward so your shoulders are over your wrists, and we'll set the right foot down. Okay, not the whole foot, just the toes. The heel is lifted for now. Sit your left knee onto the floor, shifting the body weight back so we can use this free right hand, pick up the right foot, and just place it up a little higher on the mat. Relift the left knee, pivot or turn that whole leg and get the whole foot, the heel on the floor behind you. Now my body weight is really forward, so I'm going to try to pull the hips back a little bit to get a little bit more centering so the hands feel a little lighter. Make sure there's a nice knee bend. My torso is elongated over the front thigh. I'm even going to place one hand then 2 hands on my thigh and inhale to rise up until I'm nice and tall, facing forward. Then inhale, extend the arms up into the air. Exhale, hold. Okay, so with the arms extended, we're still getting some nice lengthening through the sides of the body, and that's exactly what we want. Let's inhale here. Exhale, turn your torso towards the left side of the room. Arms come down to parallel. If you need to, adjust your feet, just so you feel solid, feeling good, especially in your knee and ankle joints. There we are. Let's move into a side angle pose, reaching out over this right leg to angle the upper half of the body, and then rotate the arms. Right arm reaching down, left arm initially reaching straight up, just to feel the body opening up completely to the side of the room. Let's continue with a side stretch by feeling the left arm reach overhead like so. Okay? As you reach through this left arm, again, feel the lengthening through the left side of your body. Let's move from here. Breathe in, exhale. I'm just going to lift a little, giving me space in my waistline so I can easily turn. Both arms out in front, flip the palms up so I can come down, plant the hands into the mat, rise up onto the tiptoes behind, push firmly into the ground with the hands, strong arms, so I can slide the right foot back and I'll be in plank pose. Hold here for a second, nice strength posture. Soften your knees, bend your knees quite a bit, and then send your hips into the air. This is our return to downward facing dog. You may need to adjust your feet and your hands. Keeping the knees bent, hips lifting, strong straight arms. Sink the chest between the arms. Then inhale, pick up your left foot and extend the left leg back. Again, I'm not concerned about the height. It's more about the energetic extension. Exhale, bend this left knee. Bring the left knee in underneath you towards your chest, shifting your whole upper body forward, shoulders over your wrists, and set the left set of toes on the floor, heel lifted. Right knee comes down, pull the weight away from the hands, use this free left hand to go literally pick up the left foot and place it up a little higher on your mat. We'll re-lift the right knee, pivot the right heel to the floor. Again, the body weight may be forward, so just kind of pull the body back. I'm even stepping my hands back. You want to feel and see this alignment, left knee over the ankle. Okay, I'm elongating my torso straight out over this left leg, placing both my hands on the thigh, right in the middle here, and then push to help assist my own body as I rise up nice and tall. Inhale, extend the arms into the air. Exhale, just finish that lunge. Remember, we're reaching high into the sky, nice lengthening through the sides of the body. And with this particular lunge, we're also getting some work in the right leg, especially in the upper part of that right leg. We're going to inhale here. Exhale, turn now to the right side of the room. Arms come down to parallel. Once again, make any adjustments with your feet. And we'll hold here for a moment. Then our side angle pose, reaching out. Angled upper body, let's rotate the arms here. Left hand reaching down, right hand initially reaching up. Again, we're just opening up completely sideways. And then we'll get that side stretch. Extend your right arm overhead. So this right arm is just coming a bit closer towards the right ear. And just continue to reach and feel that lengthening. Take a breath or two. And then moving from here, we'll inhale. I like to lift a little, making a little bit more space in the belt line, turning to face forward, arms out front, flip the palms up, fold, plant the hands. Nice strong connection, rise up onto tiptoes behind, push more firmly into the hands so I have strong arms so I can pull this left foot back. And here's my return to plank pose. And once again to down dog, bent knees, lift the hips into the air, adjust your feet and hands. Hold for a moment, feel that nice extension of the spine. Now looking straight down at the floor, we'll just take a few steps forward, maybe to the center of the mat until the feet are planted on the ground, and then just slide your fingertips toward your toes. You'll be in a forward fold. We'll inhale and just slide the hands up to the shins or knees and extend the spine. We're only rising up halfway, so we're about here. So your torso is parallel to the floor. Nice strong legs, good bend in the knees, extension through the spine in the opposite directions. Now shifting your weight into your heels so your toes feel light. Bend your knees and lower your hips and lift your chest. Take your arms out to the side. And as you now inhale and stand up nice and tall, reach into the air, then exhale, arms come down to your side. Very nice. You may want to just roll the shoulders out for a moment as we make our way to mountain pose. Alrighty, so here we're going to get into our chair pose with a twist. This is where you're going to need your block or a rolled up towel. You may want to have a big towel, like a beach towel or a big bathroom towel, something that's going to be kind of bulky, okay? So you can easily place it between the thighs, just above the knees like so, and just give it a little squeeze. Now squeezing the block or whatever prop you have here has a couple of purposes. One, it just reminds you to hug to center line. Just as we pull the belly button in towards the spine, we're kind of doing the same thing down lower, just squeezing towards the spine. Also, because we're going to be doing a chair pose and then a twist, it'll keep the hips in place, all right? It stabilizes the pelvis because we want to maintain exactly this formation and alignment. As I'm facing you, everything is going to remain facing forward. As I get into the chair pose, same thing. And it'll just be an upper body rotation. We don't want to turn too much in the lower half. I'll show you an example. All right, let's start in mountain pose. You've got your prop between your thighs. Let's inhale, extend the arms up, getting some good length in the sides of the body. Exhale, take chair pose. I'm going to turn sideways just for a quick moment so you can see that I'm really not sitting too deeply into the pose. And then you can bring your hands to your heart like so. Alrighty, so in chair pose, everything is still facing directly forward. We have a good hold of the block, so I'm squeezing in, but also pulling belly button up towards spine. We're going to twist to the right. So you're going to inhale and just really feel that full extension of the spine. Exhale, pull belly button in, and a slight rotation of the torso towards the right side. Now, we're trying to keep the hips very square. This is the image I usually use. Imagine you've got like a water bottle that has a cap that screws off. So the bottom half of your body is the bottle. The upper half is that cap that's turning. So when we twist the cap, it's only the cap that's turning, not the bottom. All right, so that's what we're creating here. That way we get that hip mobility, core strength, and that rotation in the spine. It's a pretty fascinating pose because it takes a lot of strength. All right, we're going to inhale here, exhale, unwind. You can even place hands on thighs, assist yourself to sit up nice and tall. Stand up nice and tall. All righty, you can even shake things out. Just stay there for a moment. Let me show you what sometimes can happen. All righty, if we didn't keep the hips stabilized. Just watch. So I'm in my chair pose, and sometimes when we twist, we start to shift like that, okay? This way, I'm really just turning my whole torso this direction. I've lost my foundation, my feet aren't firm on the floor, and I'm really not twisting through the spine. All right, so here I'm out of alignment. And so we're maintaining this alignment and just rotating on the axis of our spine. Let's do the other side. Inhale, extend both arms up. Exhale, take your chair pose. Make sure you're squeezing your block. Let's bring hands to heart center. Inhale, feel a little bit longer in the spine. We're just making more space. Exhale, pull belly in, squeeze your prop, and a mild twist rotation to your left side. And really just going to the point where you just naturally stop. Everything stays secure at the waistline. Hips, pelvis still facing forward. It's just that turn of that little cap on your water bottle. And some breaths here. We won't hold here too long because it does take quite a bit of effort to hold the posture. Alrighty, we'll inhale here. And exhale, let's unwind, hands on thighs, press to help stand up all the way. Let's go ahead and stretch the arms back up into the air, lengthening through the sides of the body. Exhale, arms return to your side. And you can shake things out. All right, we're done with our prop here. Just going to carefully place it on the floor. All right, we're going to do a nice flow and make our way back down to the ground, and we'll finish with our spinal twist. So just make your way up to the top of the mat. I'm just going to come here. Mountain pose. Here we go. Follow me. Inhale, extend both arms up. Exhale, spread your wings, bend your knees, and imagine you're sitting back, just like in chair pose, just sitting back, but we're going to go down lower, bringing your chest down towards your thighs. Drop the hands, let your head relax. Here, inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees, extending the spine. Exhale, fold even more, bend your knees more. See if you can get your hands on the floor. Weight into the hands so you can walk both feet back to the back end of your mat. And we'll be back in plank pose. Again, just to generate some strength. We're going to gently set the knees onto the floor. Sit back briefly in hero just to get off the hands, and then just sit off to the side. Sit down, swing the legs around to the front. If you need to, just scoot forward so you're sitting more in the center of your mat, so you have room behind you to roll down onto your back. Go ahead and draw the knees into chest initially, and just add a little movement here. It's a nice way to kind of massage the low back and hip area. I also like to circle the wrists, circle the feet, just to get into the wrists here and ankles. We're just going to do a nice extension. Place the feet down, extend the legs out front, and then reach your arms behind you. We're going to inhale and reach in these opposite directions. Exhale. Again, we're still getting some length through the sides of the body because we are doing another twist, but it's also just a nice stretch. All right, let's go ahead and bring both knees back into the chest. They don't have to pull in too tightly. Basically, you're just lifting the feet off the floor and just holding on to the knees. Alrighty. Now, if you've got your props nearby, I think I have my block here, because as we get into our spinal twist, you may want to have a prop. Again, it could be your rolled up towel or blanket, or if you have a block for this, or your big pillow. We're going to inhale. Exhale, send your knees over to the left. Now this left leg may reach the floor, but it may not reach the floor. And even if it does, it may feel like you're twisting too much or too far. This is where your prop can come in handy. So you can maybe place that prop underneath that bottom leg so you don't feel like you're over rotating. And if you want, you can place something even between the knees here. So I'm just going to keep it just like this for now. So I'm rotating now the lower half of the body rather than the upper half like we did in that chair pose with the twist. So lower half rotating to the left, and just to complete this, we'll take the right arm and reach over to the right side. And you might even feel this rotation. Notice where you have sensation. Up and down the spine perhaps, your low back, your hips. Just be aware. Make any adjustments if you need to. Just like our other postures, we're just going to hold. But this may feel a little bit more relaxed compared to the first two rotations that we did. So you might want to stay here longer if it feels fine. We're just going to take 2 more breaths on this first side. And then go ahead and make your way back to center. You can hug your knees into chest. I'm going to move my prop to the other side. Add some movement here if it feels good. And we're ready for the other side. So a nice full breath in. Exhale, still engaging the core, a little bit lightly here, not as strong as the others, so you can easily turn. I'm going to still use this block so I don't over-rotate. And just letting my right leg now rest on that prop. Then extending the left arm out to the left side. And this feels just right. Now you may not need that prop, maybe you can allow that right leg to actually touch the floor, and it may feel quite comfortable for you. But remember, it's soft flow, and you never need to go too far or too deep, even if you can. You may even want to back off, maybe work more at a 60 to 70% rather than 100%, just so your body gets used to being in poses, not feeling overstressed, but still able to work and gain the benefit of the pose. Let's take 3 more breaths here. That felt very nice. I'm going to return to center. Give another hug of the knees in towards the body. Little movement. This also is a nice way to realign the body, after those twists. We'll set the feet down, extend the legs out front. Let's do one more stretch. Extending the arms behind you. Let's reach in these opposite directions. Inhale here. And exhale, you can just bring your arms down to your side, perhaps with the palms turned up. Let the feet relax. That'll relax the legs and your hips, and just allow the entire body to fully release and relax into the earth. Use breaths to help you find that complete relaxation. Feel free to close your eyes here. We'll hold here for a few moments. And as always, you're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. Very relaxing, very restorative, especially after our twisting practice. Remember, you're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. Even as I end the practice, feel free to stay right where you are. Even as I come to seated and close the practice, you can remain in Shavasana. When you are ready to move, start with breath. Some slow, deep breaths. Use that as a way to generate energy into your body and to restore movement. And maybe 3 more breaths. Feeling movement return to your body. Taking your time. When you're ready, move in slow motion. I like to bend the knees, plant the feet into the ground. That's just a way of assisting the body to roll onto one side of the body. Use your hands and another nice breath to help press and lift yourself up to seated. Feel free to bring in something soft to sit on if you'd like. You can cross your legs here and sit up nice and tall. We'll add one more movement together. Inhale and extend your arms out and all the way up. As you exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. And take one more full breath in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow saying, Namaste. Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.